Our relationship with food, it's a constant back and forth, right? It's this tug of war between what feels so good to eat and what we know is good for us. So today, let's dive right into that delicious dilemma.
Okay, picture this. You're sitting in a restaurant, menu in hand. And there it is, the classic showdown. The big question we all face. You've got the fresh, vibrant salad on one side, and on the other, that juicy, oh so tempting burger. This one choice, it pretty much sums up the complex decisions we have to make about food every single day.
So who's the winner in this battle of virtue versus indulgence? Well, here's the twist. There isn't one. The constant tension we feel, it's not really a problem we need to solve by picking a side. The real trick is to totally reframe the question and figure out how to find a balance that actually works for us.
This internal debate we have, it goes way deeper than just counting calories, doesn't it? A lot of the time, it comes from this real anxiety about what we're actually putting into our bodies. I mean, with all the conflicting advice out there, it's no wonder we feel kind of stressed about our food choices.
So, what's the solution? How do we get past all that fear? Well, it really boils down to one word: transparency. When we actually know the story behind our food, where it came from, how it was prepared, that's when we start to feel confident. That clear line of sight, that honesty, that's the real foundation of trust. Okay, but here's something really fascinating. This whole idea of balancing pleasure and health, it's not the same everywhere. Our relationship with food can change, dramatically, depending on where you are in the world. So let's take a quick trip around the globe and see how different cultures handle this exact same challenge. Let's start in France. There, it's all about the social experience, savoring the meal with others. Now, compare that to the United States, where the conversation is often super analytical, right? We're talking nutrients, calories, macros, the whole shebang. And then if you look at many Asian cultures, food is often viewed through this incredible, holistic, almost medicinal lens. It's about maintaining balance in the body. So this little world tour shows us something pretty powerful. There's this common thread that weaves through so many different cultures, and that's the huge importance of the shared meal. It's actually so significant, there's a scientific name for it.
And that term is commensality. It sounds fancy, but all it really means is the simple, ancient act of eating together, sharing a meal at the same table. And believe it or not, this one single practice has a massive influence on our food choices, our social bonds, and even our overall happiness. It's huge.
Okay, so we have all these pieces on the table, right? Pleasure, trust, community, but how do they actually come together in the real world? Well, there's one culture that gives us a really powerful example of how to weave all of this into a super healthy and joyful way of eating. So what's with this number, 3x? It's actually pretty staggering when you think about it. The obesity rate in France is 3 times lower than in the United States. And the reason for that? Well, it's probably not what you're thinking. See, their secret isn't something you can find on a nutrition label. In France, they've really cultivated this genuine art of living through food. It's all about taking the time to eat, really savoring every single bite, and of course, sharing meals with other people. Food isn't just fuel, it's a whole experience. And that right there, that gets to the absolute heart of it. Food is never, ever just about feeding people. It doesn't matter if you're a world-class chef or just making dinner at home, you're creating an experience. You're part of a tradition. You're innovating. At the end of the day, food is just culture in its most delicious form. All right, so for the grand finale, or maybe for dessert, let's bring this whole conversation back home. Let's focus in from this big global view right back to our own plates and think, okay, what does this actually mean for us? And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. What if the real magic isn't about having to choose between the salad and the burger, between health and pleasure? What if the real secret is finding a way to have both? By building a relationship with our food that's all about trust, that's connected to culture, and that's celebrated by sharing it with people we care about.